Carter, son. Carter. Turn me up a little.
And we're back with another episode of the Benny Mac Experience. We're here joined by my co-host, Robbie the Chef Agarwal. And today we're going to be talking about some very important points. We're going to be starting off with accountability. What do you think about this topic, Robbie?
I think accountability, you can look at it from a lot of different angles.
Okay.
I think being one from industry,
Yeah.
I know about accountability in a term of getting things done in a professional manner. But I think when you say accountability to me, I think, who can I count on in terms of my friends?
Yeah.
Like, a simple way of putting it is like, when my friend says something,
Yeah.
is it going to be true? Is he going to do it? Is he going to be there?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, like, you have your buddies, in the most simplest manner, accountability, you have your buddies like, yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes, or I'll pick you up at 8.
20, 30 minutes.
We'll go to the movies at 9:30, rolls around, like,
Yeah.
oh, I fell asleep.
Worst kind of friends. Worst kind of friends. I kind of see accountability as like, you trust, like kind of something, it relates to trust a little bit. Kind of like trusting someone, like trusting someone's going to be there, trusting them with something that you asked them to do, or trusting them for something that you like, what you expected of them, right?
It's their word, and without your word, you're nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's on a personal, like, friend-to-friend basis, but again, when you're in the workplace, accountability is almost a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Let's say, especially in the kitchen, because we use the term, or saying, one team, one dream.
Yeah.
That's kind of like all workplaces, right?
Yeah.
But when you're only almost as strong as your weakest link. So one person fucks around, like, that person is not accountable for the rest of the team.
Okay, I see. I understand. How would you compare mental illness with to accountability, and when do you know that it's, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When does it draw the line?
Yeah. I think mental illness in 2019, or just in general, is an extremely touchy subject.
Yeah.
Of course, if you suffer from mental illness, it's always okay to talk about it,
Yeah.
and you should always get help if that's what you want. Now, in terms of accountability, right, it's getting something done or doing something you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes, in cases, mental illness refrains us from doing that or getting something done. So, if someone will, for example, have anxiety, in which case they need to take maybe a few hours, they need to step away, they need to recuperate, they need to see what triggered them and come back. That could delay a file or something that needs to get done.
Yeah. But do you ever feel like they're maybe milking their mental illness, they say?
Easy. No, I mean,
I don't know. I had a friend in high school who says he had a learning disability, and he kind of just milked it, right? And he got to use his books for every test, and he got to get extra time to write his tests, and it's kind of like, he's milking it. Same with a lot of girls. Girls are saying oh my God, it's my anxiety, oh my God, it's my depression, but really they're just so self-conscious and they just blame it on that. And it's like, it comes to a point where it's like, don't use your insecurity as saying your insecurity as a mental illness. You're just an insecure person. You're not.
Is that a type of mental illness, you think?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if you're insecure about something, it's you care too much about what other people think, and how is you caring about other people's opinions considered a mental illness?
Could it be mental illness now in 2019 because of this whole social media thing?
Now it would be.
I think if you genuinely have, I mean, we both know somebody that genuinely has severe mental illness, which refrains that person from carrying out their life and doing anything of greater value. Exactly. When you're like that, absolutely there's reasoning. But
which is why we both know that person in our life who has that, and which is why it kind of like people have the audacity to say, oh, I have a mental illness, when it's like, no, like I fucking seen someone with a mental illness, I know what a mental illness is, and you're fucking saying your insecurity is a mental illness. That's kind of the bullshit part about this.
Correct. I think people need to, again, are you going to identify yourself as that mental illness? If you have anxiety, are you going to accept that?
Yeah.
Are you going to truly believe that? Look at the placebo effect. Yeah. You keep saying to yourself, oh, I have a mental illness, I have anxiety, I have depression.
And it will give you a mental illness if you keep saying that. The mind is strong.
Correct. The mind is the strongest part. So look at that whole placebo effect. You need to break out of that. Yeah. And there's always something you can do. You can always be 1% better, 0.1% better.
Yeah.
And over time, that 0.1% over time is going to be 1%.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
1% becomes 10, and then 10 becomes 100.
yeah. I heard it takes 72 days to break out of routine, which is also, I feel like routine and being uncomfortable around things is also something to do with mental illness, or you know what I'm saying, mental disability kind of. I feel like routine and being uncomfortable with things has a lot to do with that. Such as being so used to the same routine, being so
Dependent.
used to the same person, like being very dependent on someone, which is you need that, you need that person in your life to live your life. You need that thing, that you're addicted to that kind of person, or you're obsessed with that. Which
Yeah.
is, I think, what has a lot to do with mental illness as well.
I definitely think it's good to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we get very comfortable in our routines and our jobs, and
Yeah.
that's where you see somebody in the same job for 5 years that hates their life.
Yeah.
Because they're just so
They're
comfortable,
so comfortable.
and nothing new
Yeah.
to experience and explore.
Yeah.
I think being so comfortable at some point
Mm.
will turn you into somebody who has some sort of mental illness or thinks they do,
Yeah.
and that they can't move beyond, elevate beyond their simple life or beyond their mental capacity.
I think that routines is a dangerous thing for most people unless it's a good routine. So if you're waking up early and going to the gym and going to work early and you're in a good routine, then it's okay. That's perfect. It's those routines where it's you're bad, you're in that bad routine. You're doing the wrong things. You know what I mean? You're waking up and doing bad things, and you're doing things that aren't going to better your lifestyle, and things that aren't going to change your lifestyle.
Yeah, of course, healthy eating and physical activity are definitely great routines. But I think in terms of a great routine, we need to move on past that. I think a great routine would be something like catching up with an old friend once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a good routine there. So something very unique that's actually going to take you to that next level.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different bad routines, and that's even just getting so coupled to your job,
Yeah.
where you're not moving up, you're not making more money, you're not happy, you're not fulfilling your goals or dreams.
Yeah, it's because you're scared of that uncomfortableness. You're scared of being uncomfortable.
You're scared of being uncomfortable.
Which is you're not able to make new connections, and you're not able to do new things. But where do you think that uncomfortableness comes from? Why do you think that person's uncomfortable?
Just having to adapt to something new, because maybe you're so comfortable doing this. Once you step out of that zone, you have to meet new people. You have to figure out who they are. You have to get them to like you. It's a little bit of insecurities, and
I think insecurity.
it's
is
just
with that.
almost like trying.
Yeah.
When you start a new job, you have to be open. You have to be friendly. You got to meet 10, 20, 100 different names and have a new group and figure out what you can get away with, what you can't. So I mean, that's almost like a lot of work and a lot of effort.
Yeah,
Or
for sure.
the standard person may just want to, no, I don't want to meet new people.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just keep my same 10 shitty friends
Yeah.
and go with the route I'm going with.
Yeah, which has a lot to do with it. Probably independence has a lot to do with that as well, because you need to be independent to feel uncomfortable with things. So you gotta be able to do your own things and be by yourself and learn new things by yourself, meet new people by yourself, which is something that a comfortable person wouldn't be able to do.
Correct, and that actually brings me back to 2-3 years ago. I went to Amsterdam in Asia, and I did it by myself.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't want to go with anybody because I wanted that uncomfortable experience.
Yeah.
Could I do this? Can I make it? Can I get to my flights? Can I board them? Can I reach there and go to an unfamiliar country?
Yeah.
Fucking other side of the world. Everything's very different. I wanted to be uncomfortable. I wanted to see personally if I can do it.
Yeah.
Which is also why I went back to Queens.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that. I also think that that alone. I also feel like alone time is very good for you. You need that kind of alone time to yourself, so you could learn yourself better. You could see who you really are when you're alone. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. It's on topic, but it's slightly gears off.
Okay.
Would you go to the movies by yourself?
I wouldn't go to the movies by myself because I'm the type of person that always has to ask what happens next because I'm very impatient. But I would be the type of person that goes out to dinner by myself.
To dinner?
Yeah, I would go out to dinner by myself because I feel like that's a good way to rethink and you get that relaxing time. You don't gotta worry about anything. So yeah, I actually do go for my own.
I go to pho. I go to pho by myself
I would go
all
to
the
pho
time.
by myself. It's just yeah, but obviously the movie is like a different example because like I'm not that kind of guy. I always want to know what's happening next, what's happening next. And
Okay, what if you did? Like, what if you could just sit down and watch a movie?
I would watch it at my house instead.
Okay, but what if you had to go to the theater?
I would if I had it. I would.
Yeah.
Would you do that by yourself?
Well, I only know one person that has gone to the movies by themselves.
Yeah.
And at first, like, it kind of like it shocked me. It's like,
Yeah.
like what, you went by yourself, like, are you any loser? Like what?
Yeah.
But then thinking about it, like, why can't you go by yourself? Because you're scared people are going to see you that you're by yourself. Like, you don't have any friends.
I think that has a lot to do with it. But that's what shows you. That goes back to comfortableness too.
And that's why I asked the question. Right?
you need to be
On topic.
comfortable. You need to be comfortable with your group of people, even your shitty group of friends. You can't be uncomfortable about things, which is what I think a lot of people end up.
Again, I think it goes back to which is society now these days is you care too much what people think.
Yeah.
I think going to the movies is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing almost nobody does.
No.
And you always went with friends. There's always a big group thing.
Yeah.
So I think going by yourself is like literally 100% confidence and going like, I don't care if people think, people think I'm a loser, I have no friends, I'm a bum, I got no money or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing you can do
I
in
think
terms of confidence.
it all goes back to fucking insecurity though, if you think about it. Every single person, including me, I've been insecure.
Everybody has
everyone has some
insecurities.
kind of insecurity, which is ultimately a killer. Like you can't do anything if you're insecure. If you're not able to speak your word, and if you're not able to like speak your truth, then like you won't get anywhere. You won't be able to do anything by yourself. If you're always worried about what people think, like starting a new job even, like you're gonna be always worrying about, hey, what's my coworker gonna say about me? What's this person gonna say about me? What if I do something bad? What are they gonna talk about me? What if I don't get invited to lunch with these people?
And people may not be thinking about this 100%, but it's subconsciously what's going
through your
head.
through their head, and
Like subconsciously.
especially like with Instagram and fucking all these social media platforms. Like that's all it is. Like your Instagram profile is literally like, I feel like it's kind of ranked by how many followers and how many likes you're getting.
It's 100% right.
It's pretty fucked. Like that's actually pretty insane, and it's something that we got to deal with though, right? Like it's the day and age that we're living in, right? It's nothing that we can do about it. Well, yeah, if you're insecure about it, then you could just delete your account. But is it really worth it? Like, should you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think almost everybody in today's time almost has the insecurity of what other people think, and that's been going back for a long time. That's not something that's new. That's not something that just happened because of social media. It's definitely enhanced because of social media and has increased tenfold.
Oh, increased quite a bit.
But I mean, that's normal for humans to want other people to like them.
Yeah,
and care what other people think about.
That's different though. I feel like you're respecting someone's opinion about you.
Yeah.
But the bad part about insecurity is say if someone makes fun of you. Is that you're gonna let that dictate your next week? Like, oh my god,
it should.
Oh my god, he said this about me. Oh my god, he said this about me. I think that's the fucked up part about it. But if you're respecting, say if someone is saying maybe you're not good. Say you're trying to try out for a soccer team, for example, and your coach says to you, you're not good enough to make this team. Then I think that's the difference right there. Someone say the coach is saying like you're not good enough to make this team. Then I think you should use that. You're respecting their judgment rather than you're letting their judgment take over your life. I think that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of rather than like say someone's making fun of you and you're letting that fuck you up, rather than like using their words
as constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism. Yeah, using their word as constructive criticism. I think that's the difference right there. With like being insecure or not being insecure, like you're respecting their opinion or you're letting their opinion. You're getting taken over by their opinion, or you're respecting their opinion. That's the difference right there.
And I think majority is, let's say we go back in high school times or earlier on, even when you're young and you watch cartoons and stuff. Mm-hmm. It seemed like the bullies were always the ones that had the most insecurities.
Yeah, it was. They've always had things in their past that they were haunted by, or something that they didn't like about themselves, so they would take it out on other people. But it's like, that's just how it is, right? Like, it makes perfect sense, though. Doesn't it make perfect sense? Yeah, you had something, it makes perfect sense why bullies are bullies, though. they've had shit wrong with them that they gotta take out on other people. Like,
Correct.
it makes sense why they're bullies. Like,
Correct. And that can go on like a mental level or physical level.
yeah, physical level, mental level, but I don't know. It's just that mental shit nowadays it's pretty fucked.
That's big. I mean, obviously, I think number one mental illness in time here is anxiety.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people self-diagnose themselves.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. People do have mental illness. We have someone in our life, like we said earlier, like with severe, like real mental illness, not just anxiety over a certain
test, or because they have a big party to go, they don't know what to wear, or they're nervous.
Yeah, but that's why we're talking about this the way we are. It's because like we know someone who has it, rather than people just saying self-diagnosing themselves, like you said, which is like the fucked up part. Which is like kind of you have the audacity to say that about yourself.
Yeah, I think don't try to label yourself or bring yourself down. I mean, why would you want to proclaim you have anxiety?
Yeah.
Like we were saying.
What do you want? You want attention from the outside, or what? Well, what do you want from that?
I think what the point was is that when you proclaim you have anxiety and you can't do this and you can't do that, it's you're labeling yourself, but then you're giving yourself an excuse not to be 100%.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're taking away your future because of this stuff. That's what I think. I think it's ultimately affecting everything. It's ultimately affecting your future. The faster you get rid of this, is the faster you're going to succeed in life, I think. I think every single day you keep saying you have this mental illness, you keep saying you have this wrong with you, is the longer you're going to take to
overcome
it. 100%. And like that's just the way it is.
And you may never overcome it because maybe you really have that mental illness. Well, you can always improve your stance if you want
room for improvement. There's always room for improvement.
But it starts. You can only help yourself. It starts with yourself.
Yeah. No one else is gonna talk to you. Like I've had friends who've gone to psychiatrists and they tried this. They tried fucking Xanax. They tried fucking promethazine. Like they tried all these fucked up drugs and like it's not working. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like these hospitals are only trying to get you more addicted to these drugs. You're just gonna keep doing it and keep doing it.
It's got to come from within.
It's got to come from.
It's got to be a genuine.
Yeah, like you got to remember these drug companies. If you're getting into drugs because if you say you're mental illness and you're getting into Xanax and you're getting into all these fucked up drugs, these drug companies are making hundreds of millions of dollars a year off of people like you, right? So it's like you're gonna keep taking these drugs, you're gonna keep giving them money, but you're not really gonna get better.
But it's also easier for them to say, I have anxiety, I can't do this refrains me from doing this, I'm just going to take my pills and live my life and tell my job I have anxiety, I take my mental health days. Because that's easier.
That's easier than
actually trying to help your situation, better yourself. Taking a pill and doing all that, easier than researching, going for a walk. Once a day, going to see once, getting out of the house, not being on your phone. People would rather be on their phone and say I have anxiety than throw out their phone.
Yeah, exactly. People don't want to take that next step. There's so many things that people could do to overcome this too. Which is why, you're insecure over Instagram. Yeah, delete the app.
Delete Instagram. But will you delete Instagram?
But will you delete it? No.
Correct. That's what we thought. That's what we thought.
Right? And it's like that's it. That's how it is.
Everybody's.
I don't know.
If they deleted all their social media, if they had mental illness, and because social media causes a lot of this anxiety, whatever, depression, they would not delete their social media.
No.
They would not even think about that.
You would be scared of people saying, "Oh my God, where he deleted his Instagram. Oh my God, he doesn't have Instagram anymore. He must be a fucking loser."
Or they can't. They can't sacrifice their social media for a chance that they may be able to help their mental illness, which could go as far as the rest of their life and improve their entire life.
Yeah, even reading a book about this stuff.
Even reading a book.
That much closer to it. Reading a book, even I feel like getting a pet will also. You think getting a pet? I was thinking getting a pet will also fucking overcome this kind of shit. It's like a little connection. It's like a little connection you have with like another living thing, right?
But it's actually big. I mean, if you have a dog or a cat, and you genuinely love that animal, you have like a weird little bond that nobody else will understand because it's not their pet. You ever notice like you think your dog's the cutest, and you go to your buddy's house, and like they really think, like they genuinely believe their dog's the cutest.
And then you guys have a little argument about it. I have it all the time.
Right? Like, all the time. But because you just love that animal, you emotionally attach yourself to the animal, you think it's the cutest.
Exactly. And that's the thing that really anyone, no matter where, dogs aren't judging who you are.
Correct.
No matter what kind of
The
illness
pet.
you have.
They'll always love
Whether you really have a mental illness or if you don't have a mental illness, your dog isn't judging you, which I think that a lot of people.
And these
that's a
kind of
good way to
pets
get over it, I think.
will help you, because they'll give you unconditional love. You
Yeah.
can be gone for 5 minutes or gone for 5 days. That dog is still going to welcome you like crazy when
Yeah.
you get back in the house,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And that subconsciously feels well, and
Yeah.
it feels nice, and it makes you feel loved and appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. It's an important thing. So, will you go out and buy a dog to overcome this, or will you just keep
You won't.
living the same
Correct.
exact routine and the same
Right.
comfortableness that you've always been doing?
Comfortable, which
Yeah.
it all, again, that's why today's topics all kind
Yeah,
of
accountability.
relate,
comfortable.
relate to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Go all hand in hand.
It's just another excuse to say, I can't get this report done.
Yeah,
Sorry, group in university, I'm having a mental health day.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
but then it goes back, and if you're having one, it's a touchy subject,
Yeah,
but
it's
you
a
gotta
touchy
do what's
subject.
best for you.
Yeah, exactly. That about wraps it up, guys. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Leave your comments if you have anything you want to say or want to join the discussion, or if you have any ideas for the next episode. Do you have any extra conclusion statements?
That's
on
there.
it?
I think to sum it all up, if I haven't already said it, it's just to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes, yes. That's what the main idea is to learn from this podcast, I think.
Yeah.
That.
And I know I've truly used that in my own life with various things that I've done. I pushed myself specifically for that reason,
Yeah.
which greatly benefited me positively. So
Okay.
I think that just sums up the actual, 20 minutes of podcast of us talking. I think it perfectly sums it up. So that's it for me.
Okay.
Anything else? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's about it. That's what I would exactly what I would say. So, okay. Thanks for tuning in,
Great.
guys.
All right.
See you in the next one.